April.
Yeah. Tyrese explaining the situation of getting that
Sweet
extra money.
lady,
You know,
would you be my sweet love of a lifetime? I'll be there when you need me. Just calling, receive. Na, na, na.
yeah, he back. Yeah, yeah, he back.
Y'all let me know.
Go ahead and get his Tyrese song, 'cause that's like my favorite Tyrese song. So I'll let you
No,
go
that
ahead and get
motherfucker is
that
the
off. That
shit.
shit, that motherfucker was slamming.
Right.
Like, can I just
Tyrese,
say
you
one
know,
verse of my favorite? Because it's his that song that I like was straight fucking. I love
You-
you, Tyrese.
of course it was. Yeah, of
so
course
that
it was.
wasn't his
Yeah.
song, actually.
He redid it. It was on. It was on. What was that, Baby Boy?
Yeah, those guys, the actual guys, the singer came out and said, "Yeah, that wasn't
Transition.
Tyrese.
That was
But that was the shit though."
Yeah, it
yeah.
was.
But listen, man. So moms made me act like I had special needs, man.
Increase that funds, those funds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go ahead, Mr. Ed Astaire. You got a story.
Yeah, like I said,
Yeah,
I
I
had
didn't know that.
people, people in the hood, folks. I remember my dude said his mom, actually gave him a blunt and was like, "Yeah, smoke this or whatever," and then they're gonna have you take a test and all this stuff, and I need you to, react the way you wouldn't, a little bit slower than normal.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she offered him, yeah, I get you, a triple fat goose, some Tims, and all that shit. We get our funds up, and that's what it was, man. It was. I hate it, but those are the scams that goes on in inner city. For moms to increase those funds because ain't no child support coming in. And they living off the state. And once they go in and get their kids assessed and realize that they're below average as far as
Mm-hmm.
testing, they up that money. Like, oh, you need help. We need to get them in this program, that program, and that costs money. And they cut moms a check. And he laughed about it, like, yeah, mom's made me at it. But that was just another hustle, which was a detriment, in the long run. And it was something that should probably never be repeated.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing about that you should be proud of. That's nowhere near a flex. But yet, it's not a badge of honor, coming from the hood. It was just one of those circumstances where the mother probably felt like, well, we could get a little extra. Uh, if I have you acting like you need to be on that short bus with the blackout windows.
Let me say this, man. I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? And you try not to judge certain things because
You're not in that
people.
situation.
You're
Yeah.
right, and people are trying to figure out how to make ends meet. But at the same time, let me say this: this is where the actual genius of Dr. Umar comes in, because he talked about this in his book, the Psychoacademic Holocaust, where he said this is how they label a lot of these black boys who really don't have any issues.
Yep.
First of all, if these kids get that label put on them, one, it's hard to shake, but the mother gets a little bit of money, but the school also gets 3,000 extra. These schools, the public schools, get a certain amount of money for each kid, but for each kid with special needs, I think it's like an extra $3,000 to $6,000. And so they what they do is they say, hey, you'll get, let's say, an extra $1,000 a month because your child has special needs. You'll get $1,000 and he'll get services. But now your kid is fucking labeled, because once they're in there, it is extremely hard to get them out. You know what I'm saying? And so, while I understand you gotta do what you gotta do to feed your children, and at the same time, man, it's something that's used to actually harm more than it is help. You know what
Yeah,
I
you don't
mean?
do that to the detriment of the placement of your child in the
There you
education
go.
system because once they
Absolutely.
get in, like you said, it's hard to get out of those, special ed classes
Yeah.
into AP classes.
Yeah.
You got to work double. You can't miss a beat. To get out of those classes because they want to keep you in there. Like,
Let me
oh,
say.
That,
you
that
need to slow
explains some
down.
stuff.
Yeah.
Let me
Like
let
the
me
DPPF, remember those classes?
Hmm.
let me just put this out here for anybody that's listening, man, who has kids, right? I know of a child, man, that turned 18 and can't get into the military because of that label. I had no clue about this until we were trying to, they were trying to figure out, hey, man, what are we going to do to get this? We got to figure out something for them. And when they looked, they found that you can't get into the military if you had an IEP within a certain amount of time, or if you had ADHD or something like that. So, these labels, man, they follow you. They follow you throughout your life, man. And, you're ultimately putting something on this child that years down the road, he's going to have to figure out himself. You know what I mean? How to get out of, so, yeah, man.
All just for a couple dollars, a couple extra
Yeah.
dollars, because
Yeah.
you didn't make what you was given stretch.
Yeah.
You want to go ahead and buck the system. At the same time, you handicapping your kid,
There you go.
little boy or girl.
Yeah.
Like, oh, just don't answer completely. Slow your answers down a little bit.
Mhm.
Act a little crazy. Don't respond when they talking to you. Look up at the ceiling when they talking to you. All
But
kind of gimmicks that they tell their kid to run on this, and they like checking this little thing off, not knowing, like you said, they fucking up their future.
Yeah, but let me just say this again. Like he was saying in his book, I know for a fact they target these black boys. Let me tell you something. I can remember being in elementary school, and I had a couple homies in the LD class. So, I would go down there when I go to the bathroom. And I come in there, I'm like, man, it's cool. They get to walk around all day, man. They sell erasers and pencils, colored pencils and shit. And I was like, man, y'all chilling in here. And the damn teacher go tell me, hey, you want to be in here? Just talk to your mom too. You could come be in this
See?
class. I went to
See?
my mother. I said, hey, mom, the teacher, I can go to the LD class too. She said, dumbass is fucking learning disabled. What the fuck? You ain't going there. Ain't nothing wrong with your dumb ass. Here it is. I'm thinking because they chilling, they got this nice ass carpet with all these numbers and shit on it. They got all the good colored pencils and erasers and pencil sharpeners and shit. This at Mary Haddo, man. You know what I'm saying? This was at Mary Haddo Elementary, over there on the east side and shit. I'm talking about in Lincoln Nose, man. I'm like, shit, I want to be in this motherfucker. Y'all chilling. Y'all ain't doing nothing. Y'all
I ain't
come
got
through
no
twice a
books
day
or
selling.
nothing. Yeah,
Y'all ain't got no
gym all
fucking
day.
books.
Yeah, y'all got
Right.
gym all
Y'all
day. I
got
love this.
Yeah, man. But then, you know what I'm saying? Then I got to high school and I'm like, damn, why are all these kids down the hall over here? We ain't got
Yep.
wood shop. Why they in the wood shop? Why that's their classroom? We got old wood shop tools in there. They sell popcorn 2-3 times a day. I'm like, oh, this is the LD for the high school kids. You know what I'm saying? Learning disability. We was ignorant as kids. We used to call them little dummies. So, you know, I didn't know no better. But yeah, they use
Short,
that to
yeah,
target.
On
They
that
use it
level.
to,
yeah.
they use it
We
to
call them
target.
short bus.
Look
Yeah,
at Miss
short bus.
Look at Miss Kiki. Look at Miss Kiki. Look at Miss Kiki.
It's kicky like they almost got you. They almost got you.
Cause motherfucker. But that's how they get
Man,
you if you don't know, man. They play on
Exactly.
your ignorance, man. They play on you being lazy, man. You can't. I'm saying that to try and teach, man. Dr.
hey,
Oh,
Aubrey, if I Tunde Johnson.
oh man, what you got, fam?
I'm still tripping on singing. They got numbers on the floor. They got popcorn.
That's enticing. You don't see that shit in normal classroom.
Looking like a
No,
good
You don't
time.
see that shit,
you got
man.
that hard desk and shit.
Yeah. Them motherfuckers get to lay down all day. Yeah, they ain't got to do shit. Ain't no books in that room.
Nothing.
Yeah. There's
Nothing.
a couple balls, a jump rope. Yeah, and blocks.
And a
Yeah.
nap. And a nap.
And nap. That's it.
Uh,
Somebody in there supervising. That's it.
I think for them loopholes to be in the system where somebody could just walk in and be like, "Yeah, my son retarded," like that was in place for white people. And white people been doing this shit since Social Security started. I don't know. I think it's cool they took advantage of the system like that. I don't know, man. It's like somebody's, like I used to have all these morals and shit, whereas like, hey, man, you can't do that. That's taking advantage of the system. And then, white dude was like, it's free money. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
So I don't know how I feel about it anymore.
I
Yeah,
get, but again, it
it's a
follows that
detriment to
kid.
the it
It ain't
follows the
just
kid.
it follows them for the rest of their lives or whatever. Because you always gonna be that kid who was in LD classes. Cats ain't gonna let you lay that down. You're
No.
always gonna be that kid. And
I,
that's where the shit gets a little tricky.
Mm-hmm. I still
Hey,
remember
man, you
some
bring
of
that
it.
shit up when you see your LD friends?
I try not
Do you,
to
do you ever
because
bring
No.
that up when you see your LD
nah,
friends?
I try not to
Nah, but I
because
be like this.
you don't want to get into it.
They
I
try
look
to
at them
put
and
me.
be like,
I gotta say this because they try to put me in BPPF classes because I used to fight at North all the time, and they
Mhm.
told my mom that I had ADHD. Hey, mom, shout out to you for not doing this to me because they tried my mom, y'all. I was in DP. They put me in the classes for I think a couple of weeks. I was in there and I was walking down the hallway. And they used to call it, they used to be like dumb people pushing furniture. And they used to, you know what I'm saying? That shit was,
God, I told you how cruel kids are, man.
that
Them
shit was
motherfuckers will
crazy
come up
as hell.
with some shit, man.
Man,
Yeah.
listen.
North was gladiator school.
Yeah.
North was gladiator
Yeah.
school.
Yeah, man.
I went to North. That's it.
I got kicked out there and shit.
Yeah.
All right,
You
family.
got into a scrap at that motherfucker. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's been real in the
What you sipping
motherfucker.
on, Ed?
Yes, some petite
Cognac.
Syrah.
No, I'm playing.
Bargo family.
Yeah.
Mm.
Another red.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, family, again for another great session.
Yeah, man. It's good to be
Keep
back.
your kids off that short bus, and
Yeah.
trying to get that extra couple dollars,
Yeah.
from the state. It ain't worth it, man.
And if
Right.
you ain't
Kids ain't
heard
getting
from
no
your
classes.
crackhead relative since you've been a kid, don't pick that phone up and cuss the motherfucker out who gave him the number.
That
And if
part.
your child gonna wear a helmet, don't let them be a football player.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night. God, hey, Kiki.
Peace.
Peace.
Hey, I love y'all, man. I got to
Oh,
get to work, man.
yeah, I love you
All right,
too,
see
man.
y'all.
Peace.
All right. Peace.
All right.